people. We've got 2 bills, like I said in my video today, but only 1 bill is currently in. But I'm watching the TV. So look, are you an NFL guy, Bill Jr.?
Oh yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
I thought so. So I'm a big NFL guy. I'm a big draft guy. And apparently the Chargers must have made a trade because the Chargers are on the clock. I'm a Chargers Cowboys fan. I don't know what's going on, but apparently we made a trade. You've been watching the draft?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. I'm not too sure what's going on right now. I got the TV on in the other room, the door shut. But yeah, I guess they traded up. Yep.
So they picked up a receiver, actually out of TCU right down the road. He's a burner, like 5'10", he's a little short, 5'8", little short kid, but a little punt returner, speedster guy. So did the Cowboys. And then my Chargers picked up a quarterback who I'm not in love with. I was hoping we get Tua. But yeah, you guys got Jalen Reagor from TCU. So anyway, we're waiting for Bill Sr. to get set up down there. When he gets set up, we'll bring him in. Tonight we're going to talk about our top 5 or our top 10 all-time baseball movies. I'm looking forward to it. I got to be honest with you. I'm a baseball nut. I'm a movie nut. I don't think there's that many great baseball movies. Before we start going down the list, what are your thoughts, Bill?
I'm just real excited to be talking about this. Get to talk a little bit of baseball here, and movies are my thing. So you put both of those together, that's like a win-win for me.
I remember you said that when I first met you, or maybe your dad might have even told me that about you before I met you. I'm watching the Chargers too, so we picked up a linebacker from Oklahoma, Kenneth Murray. Never heard of him, but cool. I'm excited. So my Chargers got a quarterback and a linebacker from Oklahoma, and then my Cowboys also got somebody from Oklahoma. CeeDee Lamb. I'm very excited about CeeDee Lamb. Not gonna lie,
that was a great pickup for them.
Yeah, ooh, he's great. I don't know much about Kenneth Murray, but obviously people like him. But anyway, so let's say hi to people in chat, and then we'll talk to you, and hopefully your dad will get hooked up in here. Mouse Talk was in here early saying, FYI, the Naturals #1. I got a top 5 list, and I got some also rans. I might mention them in my list. Monarch Moments. I saw this when I was setting up. Old school movies here. I like this. Starting off with Bang the Drum Slowly, the Natural Major League 42, which I hate to admit I've not seen. I'm a Jackie Robinson nut, and I've not seen it, so I don't even know why I haven't seen it. I actually have a movie poster of it, but I haven't seen the movie, which is stupid. Bad News Bears, Trouble with the Curve, Field of Dreams, Moneyball, Mr. 3000. I've also not seen that, and Mr. Baseball. Magic and the Mouse TV, who we're hoping pops in here, was in chat earlier, saying hi. The Sandlot, says Mickey Bunch. The Sandlot for show, says Mick. Epic and Amazing Park Hopping Adventures Worldwide. Wow, that's a great name. In the house saying hello, but I think it means hello. Mikey, a Jets fan. You guys picked up somebody to block for your quarterback. Gangsta Rappa Lynn sent PPP. Welcome. PPP sounds like a rapper thing, so I like it. I like the Bucks now. Epic and Amazing Park Hopping. That is so funny you say that. So I've always wanted to like Tom Brady, but I don't because he keeps beating my teams. I've always liked the idea of being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan because they're right by Orlando, and I hope to live there someday. He is almost as old as me, but I love the Gronk pickup. I think there's going to be excitement. I don't know if he'll be good or not, but I do love Bruce Arians too. So Tampa Bay talk. Movie Mania, Nick in the house. Stacy Rogers in the house. What's going on? Me too, Mikey. Me too. Grats on orders, Bill. I'm excited about the Chargers making a trade apparently, or they had another pick and I didn't know about it. I don't know. Captain Akron, don't call me Akron in the house. What's going on? Stacy's at 33. Dang, Stacy. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. That's crazy. I'm stalling a little bit for Bill. I'm hoping he gets in here. I mean, we can handle it if he doesn't, but obviously I love Bill. I want him here. The Duke Fleet crew in the house. I was in your chat earlier. That was fun. The Lynn Project. Thanks for being a member. So I was in her chat a little bit earlier too. I had to bounce out a little. Lynn, I love your new setup. I was going to send you a message, but I've just been too busy tonight. Piglet Roo loves Disney. Hey guys. So I went to work today and we have a resale shop. I run an after school program, but we have a resale shop, and I saw a little Pooh Piglet clock that came in that we're selling. I didn't buy it, but whatever. Brandon the Pinocchio, what's going on? Who else? You hate Tom Brady? Well, you know, you're a Jets fan. I would too if I was the Jets. Bill Steffen says Major League. Movie Mania says finally the Jets get an offensive lineman, right? Yeah. Tom Brady's the biggest cheater. So let's start right there. Since we're talking a little football, Bill, is Tom Brady a cheater?
I don't know. It's another gray area portion. Yeah, I guess because the whole thing came out, but
what did
it's weird.
So I'm not a Brady fan. I'm not a Brady hater. He's just so good and so perfect that I don't want to like him. But I can tell you that This 50-year-old used to be a high school quarterback, and I deflated my football every dang day. So, I don't know. I don't know why we're freaking out. To me, that's the ref's job. So, Bill, I see you. Give me a thumbs up if you're good. Looks like you're still setting some up. Good. All right, here we go. Bill is in the house. What's going on? Bill Jr. and Bill Sr. in the house now. What's going on, my friend?
Not much. I was set up 3 hours early, and everything worked fine. But
yeah, you sent me a picture. It was so funny. But that's all right. It all works out. We were punting a little bit, talking a little NFL draft and a little Tom Brady. Is he a cheater or not? I'll ask you. Is Tom Brady a cheater?
Yeah, that's a sore subject with me.
Yeah,
I don't have anything nice to say. My mama told me don't say anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let's get right to it then. Top 5, top 10, whatever it turns out to be. We're talking about our favorite all-time baseball movies. Before you were in here, me and Bill were talking about, I love baseball. He loves baseball. I love movies. He loves movies. I don't know where he stands on this, but I'll say baseball movies generally don't do well. There's not a lot of great baseball movies. Like when you told me you had 10, you and Bill Jr. had 10, I had 5, and I didn't try that hard to go to 10. So I thought, well, I'll just look. It was hard for me to get to 10, and frankly, I didn't, because I don't think there's 10 baseball movies I like. Frankly, I have 8 on my list, and number 8, I don't even like. Lots of people do. So what say you?
Yeah, I got 10, and I also got a 10B and a 10C.
Wow. So do you guys want to start at the bottom of your list? You guys want to start on the bottom and go up, or you want to give it out at the top? You guys decide.
Yeah, we can start at the bottom. I'll go with my number. Yeah, my number 10. It's an old movie from 1957 with it's called Fear Strikes Out with Anthony Perkins. He played Jimmy Pearsall, and Carl Malden played his dad. That was one of the first baseball movies that I remember watching when I was a kid. I mean, it was already a repeat, for a long time by then, but I enjoyed that movie.
Joseph Grohl in the house. What's going on? Glad you're here. I like the movie you picked. So, Bill, when Jimmy Pearsall hit his 100th home run in Major League Baseball, do you know what he did?
No.
He ran around the bases backwards. They made it illegal after that. I hope I've got the right guy. I might be thinking the right guy. He was a little crazy, hence the movie. What about you? Well, I'm going to have to not get in here until we get to 8. So is that your number 10, Bill?
That's my number 10, yeah.
All right. Bill Jr., what's your number 10?
So I got a 3-way tie here at number 10. I just couldn't decide, and they all belonged in the top 10 in my opinion. So I have A League of Their Own, Angels in the Outfield, and Bull Durham. 3-way tie. I love them. They're not in the top 5, but they're great.
So is that 10, 11, and 12? Do you have 9, 8, 7, 6 still to go?
Yeah, that's just a 3-way tie for my 10. Yeah, I couldn't decide out of the 3 of them.
Well, let's stay with you. Which one's number 9?
Number 9, I have The Natural. That had to make it in the top 10 for me. It's just a great baseball story. I mean, who wouldn't dream of making their own baseball bat and then finally making it to the majors and then crushing the lights with a career-ending home run.
Exactly. All right, Bill Sr., what's number 9 for you?
My number 9 was from 1994 in the movie Cobb with Tommy Lee Jones, and Robert Wall played Al Stump, the writer that was following Cobb and writing a book on him. And I always heard stories about Ty Cobb, and based on that movie Cobb, he was a crazy SOB.
Yeah, I don't know the movie well. I know Cobb a little bit just because I'm a baseball nut. Not a nice guy. Wouldn't get elected to dog catcher today, I'll tell you that. Not a nice man.
A very smart guy and invested well. I mean, he
was I don't know that, really.
He was a big investor early in Coca-Cola, and he made millions.
Really? Ty Cobb? See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's from Georgia, and that's where Coca-Cola got its start, was in Georgia, and he was a big early investor in it.
There you go. Tim Pruitt says, Mets outfielder Jimmy Pearsall celebrates the 100th career home run by running in the correct order, but bases back. Oh, that's not what I said. Whatever. He was a lunatic. He was he was Eric Burns before Eric Burns, but anyway, that's a whole other thing. Joseph Grohl liked Pride of the Yankees. Very good. Okay, so that's 9 for both of you. So I guess that gets me up to speed. So let's stay with you, Bill Sr. Which one's number 8 on your list? And now I'll dive in because I got 8 on my list.
Okay, number 8 for me was The Rookie from 2002 with Dennis Quaid and Rachel Griffiths played his wife Lori Morris, and that was one of the first movie that Angus T. Jones from Two and a Half Men played Jake in Two and a Half Men. That's where he got his start, was in that movie.
So is that the one where the guy was a junior high teacher or whatever, and he tried out and threw like 94 or whatever?
Yeah, he was a high school teacher and was the coach, and the kids made a bet with him if they went to districts, and he'd have to go try out again.
That's so cool. If only it was true. Oh, and it is. How cool is that?
Yep.
Cool. All right, Bill Jr., number 8 for you.
So I got 8 Men Out for my number 8, which is fitting. Number 8, 8 Men Out.
Yeah.
Just a classic story about Shoeless Joe and the Black Sox, and just the whole history of baseball mixed in there, and it was a good one.
Really good movie. I love that movie. It might be on my list. It's not number 8, but I'll tell you when I get there. But I love that one. I love they do such a good job of making Joe Jackson lovable, and clearly one of the greats of all time. Not somebody that any of us ever got to see, but if you look at the stats, he was above and beyond, and everybody said he was just amazing. My number 8, I'll dive in here now because I have 8, and I got to be honest with you. When I first saw this movie, I didn't like it even a little bit. It's a classic. It's already been mentioned tonight. I guess I don't like the fantasy aspect of it. I'm also not a big Robert Redford fan, but number 8, The Natural. Classic, beautiful, but I just didn't like it as much as most people. But honestly, I don't like baseball movies that much. I mean, I get to the top of the list here, and there's some I really, really love. But in general, it just didn't stand up for me. So I'll just keep going with number 7. I'll ask you guys, because I really do love the next 7 movies. But for me, it was really a hard break between 7 and 8. But number 7 for me is 8 Men Out. I love that movie. I think it's beautiful. I love the story of it. Comiskey was not a nice man, and I love that they told that story. I think that it was an interesting predicament that Landis was in there. What do you do? And he overly crushed the players in such a way that they would never do it again. And while today I don't think they could do that, it was the right thing to do. It probably saved baseball because the gamblers had it. So historically, I like it, and I thought it was a beautiful movie. So I know it's already been mentioned by you, Bill Jr., so I'll ask you, what's your number 7?
So my number 7 is the Jackie Robinson story. That's the original version of 42, in which he played himself. I believe it came out in 1947 or 1950, one of those years. I think I'm getting mixed up with the Babe Ruth story. But yeah, it is a great movie. I mean, how many times you get to say you watch something that Jackie Robinson played himself in and told his own story? It was just unbelievable what he had to go through to get out on the diamond, and all the crap that they put him through, the players, the fans, the other owners. Like, it was incredible.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm a huge Jackie Robinson fan. It doesn't make my list, but I loved that guy. Well, the stories. I mean, it's not like I ever got to see him play or anything. Great one. All right, Bill Sr., number 7.
My number 7 is the first Bad News Bears. That was a good movie. Came out in 1976 with Walter Matthau playing the drunken, broken down manager, Coach Buttermaker, and then Tatum O'Neal, one of her early movies that she got to start when she was a
little kid.
And then one of my favorite characters in the movie was Jackie Earle. He played Kelly Leak in the movie.
And he disappeared for a while. He did a bunch of things right then, and then he disappeared. And he was in another one of my all-time favorite movies, Gettysburg. Did a great job in Gettysburg. Yeah. And he's in Lincoln. He's great. I love that guy. Good call. That might make my list here. So are we? I'm confused on my number. Are we on number 6? Is it my turn? I don't even know where we're at anymore.
Number 6.
All right, number 6 for me, Major League. I loved Major League. It's a little hokey, but come on, Willie Mays Hayes. Is it Joe Boo? I loved it. And it's one of those movies that I'm not sure I would call a great movie, but I loved it. I still love it. It was just fun. Come on, Wild Thing, a little bit outside, classic stuff that back when I played, we talked about. We quoted that movie all day long. So I love that movie. I guess my number 6. I don't know that it stands the test of time as much as I wish it did. Hey, Sniper Life. But Halloween lights over there. But anyway, hey, Addy family, what's going on? Movie Mania Nick says my top 5 are Major League, 61, A League of Their Own, The Sandlot, and Field of Dreams. I think you might hear some of those on my list. So there you go. So are we on your number 6 now, Bill Senior? I think
Yep.
that's my list
Yep.
here.
Number 6 for me. My number 6 is Moneyball from 2011 with Brad Pitt playing Billy Bean. And I picked that movie because, it's not a great baseball movie, but I really enjoyed it because I love Billy Bean, what he's been able to do
I do too.
over the years with the A's. I mean, talk about getting as much as you can with as little as they give him. And the one thing that I would have loved to have seen, what would have happened if he would have taken that job in Boston instead of
I always wondered
getting
that
the job.
it's an interesting story. Like, he still has never left Oakland. It's like, I don't know if he's defiant. I mean, he's richer than any player on the A's. I mean, they're not paying any players, and they haven't for decades now. The stadium is a pit. I actually like what they're doing now a little bit more, but with their marketing. But the A's are they've been horrible, and Billy Bean's brilliant. So yeah, I agree with you. So what, Bill Jr., where are we at? I think you're on your number 6.
Yeah, my number 6, I have 61 asterisk with Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle going at it for the home run title, if you will. I know that's the season where they extended the games, so that's why the asterisk is on the end of it. He didn't end up getting it until he played Baltimore at the end of the season. And Billy Crystal directed it, did an outstanding job in my opinion. He's a huge Yankees fan. That's why I think he did such an outstanding job, is because he wanted to make it absolutely perfect. And it's an all-around good story to show what Roger Maris's life was like and what Mickey Mantle's life was like. He was a crazy one, that's for sure, and he loved to party.
Yeah, you know what? That movie and that story represents one of my favorite all-time baseball cards. The 1962 set is one of my favorite sets. It's beautiful. It's kind of got the wood background, and the home run leaders card from the 62 set is from the 61 season, of course. Mantle and Maris, one of my all-time favorite cards. It's art. It's beautiful. It's seriously, if I had a top 5 baseball cards, that card would probably be on it. And I'm not a Yankees fan, but that's a great pick. So Bill, I guess we're on your number 5. I feel like I've screwed up the numbers, but I hope I've got it right.
No, for number 5. My number 5 is Angels in the Outfield. I talked a little bit about this last week. It was the remake in 1994, but I liked them both. But the one that I really liked was the one from 1951, when Guffey McGovern was the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He played the part of the same manager in the Angels in the Outfield in 94. And then Janet Leigh, she played the reporter that was, following him around. And funny thing, a lot of people in here are Disney fans, and the one in the movie that played the person that saw the Angels was a girl, and the character's name was Bridget White, but her name was Donna Corcoran, and her brother was in a lot of Disney movies. Kevin Corcoran, he played Moochie in a lot of movies, and he was also the youngest son in Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah.
And that was her younger brother.
I actually love that movie, which is a weird thing to admit, but I do. So that person played the owner of the Angels? Is it?
No, she was a young girl. The movie in 94, the kid that saw the Angels, it was a boy in the 94. Well, it was a young girl in the 1951 movie, and it was Donna Corcoran that played that part.
Very cool. Very cool. So my number 5 has already been mentioned tonight, is Moneyball. I love Moneyball. I think Brad Pitt does a great job. I'm a big Paul DePodesta fan, and he wouldn't let his part be him. So they made it an amalgamation, I think is the right word. The Jonah Hill character was a couple people, but it was Paul DePodesta. Obviously, they changed it up a little bit, but I really love that. I'm a math guy. I'm a baseball guy. I love fantasy baseball. I love the nerd sabermetric stuff. And he really brought it to the forefront. I mean, Bill James did. But Bill James, everybody followed what Bill James did, including Paul DePodesta and a bunch of them. And Paul DePodesta was really the first Harvard brilliant geeky guy that got a job and took baseball in another direction. And I really like that story a lot. It's not the story of the A's and Billy Bean. It's the story of the new age of baseball front offices, in my opinion. And I just think it's brilliant. I do think they ripped Art Howe in that a little hard. He wasn't that bad of a guy from everything I've ever read. He certainly wasn't. I mean, people in baseball love him. So that was a little rough. And they certainly made scouts look like idiots. There was a time in my life that I wanted to be a scout. If I didn't find Paula, I would probably be a scout, because sitting at college and high school baseball games for my whole life sounds pretty fun to me. But it's not a good thing to do if you're, a married dude. But I love that movie so much. My one thing with that movie is that last scene. He plays her song, and she's calling him a loser, and I hate that. And I don't like it. It makes me. I don't want my kids to call me a loser. But the rest of the movie I love so much. So I think I'm on the right number now. I think we've all done our number 5s, correct? So we're at 4, 3, 2, 1.
I haven't done my 5 yet.
Oh, okay. There you go. See, I knew I was off by 1. All right, there you go. Your 5, Bill, is?
So my number 5 is The Sandlot. I mean, I can't get around, Benny the Jet Rodriguez and future Dodger. If you watch all the way through the end of the movie, and yeah, it's just a great story, man. When you're a kid, that's exactly what you want to do. You just want to go outside and play baseball, rain or shine. And that July 4th game that they had would have been incredible to be able to do. And yeah, it's just a great baseball movie.
I may be talking about that one in the future of my list too. I like that one a lot. So I'll say that. So why don't we stay with you on your number 4?
Sounds good. Number 4 for me is Major League. I know we already talked about it a little bit, but by far my favorite Cleveland Indians manager of all time, and probably the best one too, is Lou Brown. You just can't get by it. He's talking to the general manager and telling him he's got to call him back. He's got a guy on the other line about a set of white walls. Just like you were saying too, Jeff. I mean, when we were playing ball, we just quote that movie left and right. I mean, like even at work, I'll quote Major League. I mean, it's so quotable. It's hilarious.
I'm not in that crew of guys anymore, but my old crew that I hung with in high school and in college and right out of college, that whole time, we could that and a few others that I'm going to mention here. We could quote every freaking thing, and we did all day long. We were obsessed with that, and that's a great one. Love it. So that's your number 4.
Yep, that's number 4 for me.
Okay, I'm on the right spot. So Bill Senior, your number 4 is?
My number 4 is the same movie, and my favorite scene in the movie is when Willie Mays Hayes. He wasn't supposed to be there, and they put his cot out in the parking lot, and he heard the gun go off for the 40-yard dash 2 of the guys were doing, and he came from the parking lot onto the field and beat him to the finish line. That was one of my favorite parts in the movie.
Come on, the Wild Thing scene, bro. Come on, I love that song now. For that, I love it. Great pick. It didn't make it as high as for me, but I already talked about it. That's a great one. So for me, number 4, they lollygag on the practice field. I love it. It's Bull Durham. It's so great. There's some things in there that I didn't love. There's parts of it that aren't very kid friendly, but all in all, it has stood the test of time. It's classic. Tim Robbins, so freaking funny. But the best character was the assistant coach. The scene at the mound where they're trying to figure out what's going on, and the manager sends out the pitching coach to talk to the team, and Costner says, we got a lot of stuff going on. We need a live chicken. We don't know what to buy for the wedding. I love that so much. And then the classic scene where Costner keeps getting shaken off, and so he says, all right, he's throwing the fastball, and the guy tees off on it and hits a home run. I have a story that's a little bit like that too, and it didn't go so well for me. I won't tell my version of it, but I just love that movie. Bull Durham's number 4 for me.
That movie didn't even make my list. I was never a big fan of Bull Durham. Probably the only scene in the movie I really liked and thought was funny was the mound scene that you were just talking about, trying to figure out what pattern to get for the one guy's wedding shower or his wedding present or whatever it was.
I didn't even mention Jobu. I love Jobu. There's so much in there. Oh no, is that
no Jobu? That was in Major League.
Yeah, I screwed it up there. Well, but whatever. Yeah, that was the wrong one. But I love that movie. But anyway, okay. But now the next 3 for me. Again, I talked about how there's a big drop off for me. The next 3. Really, the next 2 are really close, and then my number 1 all time is number 1 by far. But so I think we're all on 3. Should I take number 3 right here? So number 3 for me, the Bad News Bears. Now I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of putting them all into one because one of my favorite scenes in the Bad News Bears isn't even a part of Bad News Bears. It's one of the remake or the secondary ones when they were in Houston and let them play. And I think that was in Bad News Bears too. But the classic Bad News Bears, you already talked about it. I love it. Buttermaker is hilarious. I mean, and I wanted to love the remake. I didn't love the remake, but I just think the Bad News Bears. It was such a part of my childhood, and I loved it. I love it. I love the two. I love the kid who never talks. I love the nerdy guy. I love it all. I love the little kid in right field who's mostly picking his nose. It cracks me up.
Yeah, that movie, as great as the first one was, I mean, a lot of times sequels usually aren't as good as the first, but the other ones, they didn't even come close.
I loved the one that they play in the Houston Astrodome.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad, but the one when they went to Japan, that was horrible.
That one I don't even. Yeah, matter of fact, I only know of it. I don't even. I know I watched it, but I don't even remember it was that bad. But the one they played in Houston, I don't remember the name of it. I like that one. So it probably gets a little bump for me, a little higher because of the other one. But what about you? What's number 3 for you, Bill Senior?
My number 3 is Field of Dreams. I mean, that was just a great movie. Just the whole story to the movie, and even the basic story was just about a father and son. That the dad died young, and it's just a great movie.
Bill Jr., number 3.
So number 3 for me, I have The Rookie. We already talked about it with Dennis Quaid. It's just another one from when I was a kid, growing up and watching it before each season to try to get back in the right baseball mindset. And can't go wrong with a good comeback story, that's for sure.
Right. Totally agree. Good stuff. I think that takes us to number 2. So why don't we stay with you, Bill Jr., number 2?
Number 2, I have For Love of the Game. Now, this is a really, really popular one for me. You got Kevin Costner throwing the ball to John C. Reilly, of all people, as his catcher for the Detroit Tigers. And it's a story about baseball, but it's also a story about his life throughout his entire career and how he's like reliving his entire life during this game, and each inning goes by, it's a different chapter in his life, and then before you know it, it's the 9th inning. He looks up at the scoreboard, nobody's gotten on base, he hasn't walked anybody, and he's got a perfect game going. He didn't even know it. And again, they beat the Yankees, and it's just like the perfect win-win for me.
I love it. Bill Senior, number 2.
My number 2 is the original Jackie Robinson story from 1950, where Jackie played himself. I just thought that's just a classic baseball movie. I mean, it's one of the most important moments in Major League history. And I just, the acting in it wasn't phenomenal. Jackie Robinson wasn't an actor, let's face it, but he was a ball player. But it was still a great movie, and it told the story pretty well.
That's good stuff. For me, number 2 is also iconic. Probably watched it a billion times. So I run after school programs for years, boys and girls clubs, and so the kids would beg to watch this movie. And I'm not a big fan of putting movies on, when you're running after school programs in general. But if they asked me for this one, I would say yes every time. It's The Sandlot. This story might be perfect. Oh, but the next one that's number 1 is actually perfect. So we'll get to that in a minute. But The Sandlot, I don't even know how to express how much I love The Sandlot without not making it sound as much as I love it. The whole dad thing and the autographed baseball and the dog and the crew of kids, and they all got the fat, snotty-nosed catcher. I love that. I just love it. I love it so much. And yeah, I probably still have a crush on Jenny Peppercorn too. I mean, come on. The girl at the pool, yeah, I was in love with about 37 of them when I was that age. So love that movie. Love everything about that movie. Squints for president. Who wants to go now? Well, everybody's on 2 now, right? Are we all on 2?
Real quick, though, The Sandlot, 2 movies, top baseball movies of all time. James Earl Jones has been in both of them.
We might be talking about that on number 1 on my list. But before we go there, in chat, I appreciate you guys being here. Smash the subscribe button. I'm going to let Bill tell you where we want you to go. But in chat, let us know which your favorite all-time movie is. Gee, I wonder which one number 1 is. I mean, yeah, it's hard to not know if you're checking them off. But, it is what it is. For me, it's one of the great movies of all time. We'll talk about that in a minute. But let me know in chat, what's your favorite all-time baseball movie, and maybe one that's so underrated that you like that, for me, the one that I think would be the surprise is the Bad News Bears being number 3 on my list. So let us know in chat. And Bill, you wanted to talk about a place they should go if they want some more baseball content with us 3. we're going to put it somewhere else at some point. You want to tell them about that a little bit?
Yeah. Just real quick, I was just checking our Facebook page, Bush League Baseball page, just hit our 500th follower. So
Really?
that's jumped up pretty good in the last week or so. We're up to 500 followers there. But starting next week, you'll have to go and subscribe to the Bush League Baseball channel here on YouTube. And we're going to start putting everything over there. Jeff has got so much going on with his Dole Whip Dad channel. We're just going to put this in one spot and just try to get it to grow from there. So starting next week, we're going to go live on the Bush League Baseball channel here on YouTube.
Mick, Mick, I love you. Hey, I was a fat snotty nose catcher. I was a snotty coach catcher for 1 year, but I wasn't fat yet. I got fat later. But Mick, that cracks me up. Thank you, Movie Mania Nick. Yeah, get over there, guys. If you're already over there on the Facebook page, please go over to the YouTube page. I love baseball. I'm going to talk baseball on my channel all the time. But the whole idea, I want people to sub to the channel that's our channel over there, so we can put that content. It's just better. So please go over and check that out if you like this kind of content. I love this. I love talking baseball with people I like, and I can do this all day, every day. So yeah, please go do that. Who wants to go? Number one. Piglet Rue Loves Disney says Field of Dreams. I haven't seen anybody else in chat saying their favorite. I mean, I know people said it earlier on, but who wants to go first on the number one?
Go ahead, Bill.
All right. So you just said it, Jeff. I don't know who in the chat said it because I have my list up, but Field of Dreams is my number one, and I got Kevin Costner 1 and 2 here, my top 3. So it's a good one. Again, another incredible baseball movie. Not entirely about baseball either. It's about his life. It's about his regrets. And then at the end, he gets to have a catch with his dad, which he never got to do while his dad was alive. So it's just a great movie.
I'm going to zip it because I have a feeling I'm going to talk about that movie too. Bill Sr.?
I talked a little bit about this movie. I don't know if it was last week or the week before we talked a little bit, but Pride of the Yankees. That was one of the very first baseball movies I ever remember seeing. I remember when I was a kid, a lot during the season, it would come on Saturday afternoons. And I've probably seen that movie without a doubt at least 50 times. And I just love the movie and the fact that Babe Ruth plays itself, because there's really not a lot of, there's some video out there of Babe Ruth, but not a lot of video. And, when he's in the movie, and he was quite
the Babe Ruth,
what's that?
Audio, or the Babe Ruth video that's out there, it's also produced for the time and very corny.
Yeah. I remember seeing that also, but and then how ironic was it? The guy that plays Lou Gehrig winds up dying from Lou Gehrig's disease, and Gary Cooper.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? Crazy. Costner's in most baseball movies. Says Keystone and Keystone. Good stuff. Good stuff. For me, 2 out of 3 pick the same one. Field of Dreams is not only the greatest baseball movie of all time, and I think it's by far, it's one of the great movies of all time. I love this story. And again, you got Darth Vader in there, you got Kevin Costner, some of the iconic actors, but the story, Joe Jackson, and If You Build It, He Will Come, Go the Distance, Moonlight Graham, come on. Where did these players come from? They're stealing I love it. I have no desire to go to Iowa ever, except, I have to go to that someday. My gosh, I don't know if we're having a baseball season this year, but they're going to have a game there this year. I love that movie. I think it's as close to a perfect movie as you can get. The end of that movie, I tear up. The end of Saving Private Ryan, I tear up. The last episode of MASH, I tear up 100% of the time. Field of Dreams is so good. And yeah, as a dad and as a son, come on, it hits you right where it's supposed to. Field of Dreams for me, it's kind of personal for me. Also, I love that Nick Costner was in Draft Day. I've never seen Draft Day. That's funny you say that. I loved the draft. I love Kevin Costner. I'm watching the draft right now. I'm obsessed with the draft. Less so this year than ever before because everything that's going on. But I've never seen Draft Day. Obviously, a football movie, but good stuff. So again, my list: Field of Dreams 1, Sandlot 2, Bad News Bears 3, Bull Durham 4, Moneyball 5. I really, really, really like my top. Well, 7 really. I guess 7 now that I look at it a little closer. I think you guys like a deeper field of movies than I do, but the ones on top I love, love, love. Moonlight Graham was a real person. I think I knew that. That rings a bell. I feel like I knew that. I think he was as described a player who played very little, right? I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't swear to that, but
Yeah, I think he played in the one game. That was true, but somebody in the chat might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. But Lancaster played that part in the movie, the older Moonlight Graham, and I believe that was his last movie that he played in before.
Right. I mean, that wouldn't have been something I said, but as you say that, I feel like I've heard that before. Yeah, classic. I mean, short, insanely impactful, and classic character. Right. I love it. I love it.
Ray Liotta, that was one of his early movies, and he did a great job in that movie too.
Yep, he's in two of my all-time favorite movies. Ray Liotta.
Yeah, that'll be a shame. We talked about this a little bit before with the Yankees. I forget who the Yankees were supposed to play in that game this year at the Field of Dreams, and hopefully we have baseball, but that's probably going to get pushed back till next year, I'm sure. But that's a shame. Yeah. I was really looking forward to that.
I was too. Like I remember when I heard it, I thought, well, that's dumb because the field. I don't like it when they play in different fields because it screws up the stats. But in a season like this, I don't go down to Mexico City, and the cheerleaders can hit home runs. I don't like that. But this season, if we have this season, stats might be insane. But I do like the idea of it. Like I'll watch that game on TV. I don't know.
They did a movie. They did a game like that a few years back. Where was it, Bill? Fort Bragg, or is that where it was in North Carolina? They played on.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, and that turned out really well. That turned out to be a good game, and they built a temporary stands there, and that worked out real well.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Mexico City thing because the field's horrible. It's in a gang-infested area, and if you hit a pop fly, it's a home run, worse than Coors Field. But that's just a stadium they played at. I'm sure there's other good ones down there. I mean, I don't know. Good stuff. Good stuff. Mick asks. Boy, I can't even talk. Mick asks, what do you guys think is the funniest baseball scene in any movie? Great question. Who wants to take that first? What do you think is the funniest baseball scene in any movie?
Yeah, Bill.
The funniest baseball scene. I might have to take a second to think about this too, because about like 4 different movies just popped in my head. Oh man. I definitely have to say in Major League 2, I know this wasn't on any of the lists, but in Major League 2, when the player got traded over from Japan and now he's playing in for the Indians in the outfield, and then he hit what's his name hits a home run. Cedeno hits a home run. Not Cedeno, you know what I'm talking about, but he hits a home run, and he does. Joe Boo hits the Pedro Serrano. Sorry, yeah. He hits the home run. He's running around the bases doing the "you have no mamas" thing. And they're all shaking the bags of marbles in the dugout. Is a great one.
Also,
I used to quote that one a lot.
After Joe Boo retires from baseball, he becomes president on 24. A great character. I love that show.
Yeah.
That's probably good. Go ahead, Bill.
Probably my favorite, funniest scene in the movie was from the original Major League when Corbin Burnson, his character didn't want to do any calisthenics or any of the extra infield practice, and he brings his contract out to the manager, and the manager throws it down on the ground and proceeds to go to the bathroom on it. That was probably one of the funniest scenes that I remember from a baseball movie.
I think for me, it's the one I've already mentioned. I think the scene on the mound when the coach has to come out and Costner's saying, "Coach, we got a lot of stuff going on here. We need a live chicken. We need to know what to buy for the registry." Just, I don't know. That one cracks me up. I'm not real happy with the Astros right now, but Carlos Correa tells a funny story about how the Bregman learned Spanish so he could be in on the conversation that him and Altuve are having, and they have conversations on the infield in Spanish that have nothing to do with the game. Usually it's about video games. And I just like the inside baseballness of that, frankly. Because there's, the baseball season's a long season, 162 games. They're taking it seriously, but they're also talking about other stuff. And I think that kind of touches in on that. Also, I'm a nut for minor league baseball. I've always loved minor league baseball. And come on, hitting a home run, win a stake, or hit the bull, win a stake. That's pretty dang awesome. So anyway, there it is. Field of Dreams is 2 out of 3. Bill Senior, your favorite was which? I already forgot. I didn't write down. Field of Dreams.
Pride of the Yankees.
Oh, that's right. Pride of the
Yankees.
I think that is a cool list. What do you guys think of our list? Tell me in chat which ones. Anything you disagree with? Anything we missed? I'm writing that down, and I've got the hiccups all in one. Leslie Nielsen. So I don't think of that as a baseball movie. I mean, obviously there's some baseball in that, but yeah. Stacey Rogers, tell Billy was correct that Burt Lancaster's last movie was indeed Field of Dreams. What else in chat? Jobu. Somebody says the White Sox. Yes, it was me. I guess I got up in chat. I think we're all good in chat. Good stuff. This is fun. I wish I loved more baseball movies. I don't think sports movies usually do that great, but when we get to the top half of this list for me, I love them. Would you guys in general say you enjoy sports movies? Because again, Bill Jr. and I were talking about this. I love movies. I love baseball, but I don't think there's that many great baseball movies, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, every one of these movies we mentioned, I like them. And one was mentioned in chat, Trouble with the Curve. I thought that was a great movie too, and it just didn't make my top list. I've seen it a lot of times, and I think it's a great movie. And but there's just some of the older movies that that they were the ones that got me into baseball when I was little, and especially with Pride of the Yankees and all like that. Now there was another movie somebody mentioned, and I've never seen that movie. Bang the Drum or something like that. It's called, and that's supposedly a baseball movie.
Bang the Drum Slowly, I believe.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I'll have to look that up, try and catch that.
Tasty Your Travel in the house. Welcome in, Movie Mania Nick. Go check out the channel, guys. Just to let you guys know, I've been making baseball movie reviews for the past month. If anyone wants to watch, I got to be honest, I didn't know that, but I'll check that out, Nick. That's cool. I highly suggest you guys go check that out. Tim says, great conversation. Really enjoyed the stream. Got to go. No problem, Tim. No problem at all. Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, it's been a crazy long day for me. I've been looking forward to this. I'll be honest. It's been a good day. It's been a very good day, but it's been a very busy day, and it's been nice to have this at the end of my day. It was like the carrot. No, I don't even like carrots. It was the dessert at the end of a day. Again, not a bad day by any means, but I've been looking forward to hear how alike our stories or our lists were going to be, and hear which ones you guys like. I think they were more different than I expected, but obviously, we all love baseball. We love movies. There's not that many to, I would have been shocked had you guys had a number one that I didn't love or something. But Pride of the Yankees didn't make my list, so I guess you kind of did. My grandma, that was her favorite of all time. I think I shared that with you already. She loved that movie. She loved Lou Gehrig. So I love that you picked that one. Interesting stuff. What else? Sports movies that aren't baseball. Kind of an extra bonus thing. Mick, thank you, buddy. I like you too. Sports movies that aren't baseball that you love. We'll talk about that real fast.
The one you talked about a little bit ago, you got to watch out with Kevin Costner, the Draft Day. That was a good movie. I've seen that a few times. It's a really good movie.
I haven't seen it. I like him. I love football. I love the draft. I don't know. I have no reason why I haven't watched it. I'd like to watch it.
Yeah, I recently watched it on my last deployment. When it first came out, I heard great things about it, but I just never got around to watch it. And then I was just sitting around, I had nothing better to do, and I watched it. I was like, wow, this is really good. He did a great job, I thought, as the GM of the Browns, and everybody thought he was insane. And then by the end, it all clicked, and everybody was like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, it was just a good one. I don't want to ruin anything for you, Jeff, but you definitely have to watch that one.
I will check it out. Keystone says Mighty Ducks. That's greatness, but Movie Mania Nick goes right to the top of the list for me. Rocky's one of the great movies.
I have a prop that was used in the making. I believe it was the original Rocky movie. It's a little gold boxing glove. It's, real small.
Yeah.
On a neck, for a necklace. And don't ask me where it is, but I have it somewhere.
If we did a list of all-time sports movies without giving it a whole lot of thought, I can't imagine how Rocky doesn't get number one for me. Iconic. I love it. Great story, well written, great acting. Rush and Ford versus Ferrari. I haven't seen that, but boy, have I heard good things, Jonathan. I'd like to go check that out.
Yeah, I want to see that also.
I didn't love Mighty Ducks as much as most people did. I like it. I didn't love it. I'm a Disney guy. I love sports, but I even like what's his name? Emilio Estevez. But and Dougie, who's my friend, who I don't think is in chat. He'll be mad at me because this is his all-time favorite movie. $1 Million Baby's good. Unbreakable. I think there's so many good ones. Might be a fun story. I like the baseball show, but
I like the other Rocky movie, the Newt Rockney story.
You like the
Ronald Reagan played the Gipper.
Yeah, who actually did become I pretend, Jobu, I said becomes president. Ronald Reagan actually does become president. Well, that's pretty funny. What are the odds?
Yeah, that was a good movie. I believe that came out, what, in the early 40s?
I don't
Early to
even know.
mid 40s?
Me. Nick proving he knows movies well. You need to check out his channel, people. Rudy. And after he saves Notre Dame, he goes and saves Mordor, too. So there's always that. I love Rudy. I think Rudy is a classic movie. I think
yeah, that's a great movie.
The only thing better than Rudy is the is the commercial when he plays Rudy later. What was it? I guess it was a KFC commercial. I don't even remember what it was. I want to say it was KFC, but I love that, and I do love that guy. Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Oh my gosh, who's the receiver? I'm picturing him. What's his name? Cuba. It's Cuba Gooding. Love that. Him and his wife. Oh, I love that movie. And it's not only a great sports movie, but it's a chick flick that doesn't annoy me. Like all in one. I don't know how they did that because I hate chick flicks in general. But I love that movie. I didn't love Miracle, Bill. Did you guys love Miracle? What are your thoughts on Miracle, guys?
I thought it was a good movie. I remember watching that hockey game like it was yesterday, when they won the Olympics. So I enjoyed the movie when it came out.
So they didn't play that live. We already knew what happened when.
Yep.
Do you believe in Miracle? Movie made
it.
Nick, we need to bring you on the show. We need to do a sports one and bring on Nick because Nick is crushing it with his sports movies. If you ever coached a kid in your life and you watch Hoosiers and you don't think it's a top 10 movie of all time, you're just dead inside. I love Hoosiers so much. So much.
Another one I enjoyed, and I forget the name of the movie. It was about the Marshall plane crash back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall.
We Are Marshall. Okay.
Which makes me think of
another. That was a good movie.
Denzel, one of my favorite actors. Remember the Titans.
Yep, that was a good movie.
Spectacular movie. And see, I think Blindside's good. Yeah, Blindside's good. I don't think I've seen Invincible. Have I seen Invincible? I don't think I have.
That's a good movie also.
Mark playing Vince Papale.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Good one.
I think I'm annoyed that football has better movies than baseball.
Remember, there is a lot of good football movies. Remember the Titans was a good one. Invincible was a really good movie, and that's a true story. And was a
Giants movie?
No, Eagles.
Oh, anything that's NFC East, not the Cowboys. I just try to delete from my brain. No, I honestly though, just not even playing. I don't think I've seen that one.
His son is up for the draft this year. His son played at the University of Delaware as a receiver, and I don't know if he'll wind up getting drafted in the later rounds or Vince Papale, the guy that movie was made for. He played for the Eagles.
Got it.
Yeah,
Really?
He got a tryout for the Eagles and made the team back in the was it late 70s. And yeah, his son played for the University of Delaware, and he's hopefully going to get drafted or signed a free agent contract and get a shot at making a team.
That's awesome. Yeah, Remember the Titans is awesome. Brian Song's great. I don't think I've seen Facing the Giants. No. Stacy Rogers says Cowboys. Thanks, Stacy.
How about Little Giants? That was a good sports movie.
Is that the little kids?
One with
Rick
Moranis.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, with the girl. Yeah, that was a good movie.
I think it's one of those ones that's been on when I've been in the room. Again, I work with kids, and so sometimes on rainy days we'd have movies playing. I'm pretty sure it was on, and I don't think I saw it. I do appreciate Stacy saying "Cowboys, go Cowboys." Thank you, Stacy. I was going to ask you guys something. Darn it, my brain went away. I got to admit, I'm watching the draft too. So, and then my brain went away.
It's got to be over by now. They were only doing the first round tonight, right?
Wow, you don't watch that. So it is coming to an end for the first round, and it is we're on pick 30 of 32. But the draft is long, buddy. The draft is long.
Yeah. I know it's long, but I know tonight they're only doing the first round.
I didn't say that again. What?
I said tonight they're only doing the first round, and before we went on, they were like at the 20-something pick then.
Yeah, 2 and 3 are tomorrow, and whatever. I went to work today, and it's been a weird day, and my timing's all off. But looking forward to the draft. looking forward to this. Actually, looking forward to Corey Meets World stream, which I didn't get to watch live, but I'll be watching that later. If you're a Disney nut like a lot of us are, you definitely want to check out his stream tonight if you haven't already. I bet a bunch of you have, but he had a Disney legend on there, so check that out if you didn't. How about Radio? I never saw Radio. Tell me, Nick, should I have seen Radio? I know of Radio, but I've not seen it.
That was a very good movie also.
Bill says,
that was,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
That was Cuba Gooding Jr. too, wasn't it? That played Radio. And I believe the movie, the guy that was named after, he just passed away, I believe, not too long ago.
I don't think I know.
Yeah, I think it was about a year or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stacy.
You never saw you never saw the movie, Jeff, Radio?
No.
That's the one where was a kid that it was just hanging around the field, and he had problems and really didn't speak, and he wound up being like a trainer for the team, and he wound up being like, I don't know, like a so-called a coach on the team, just a bench guy. And it was a really good movie.
I'll check it out. I love Cuba. I like saying his name,
Yeah.
Cuba. Bill says, Jeff, if you would have them and live in the 70s and how they push America's team, Dallas Cowboys, down or throw, you wouldn't like Dallas either. I don't, what? So I'm a Chargers fan by birth because I grew up in San Diego, but I'm a Cowboys fan by I live here. It was hard for me. When I moved here, I'm still a Dodgers fan, and I assumed I would stay a Chargers fan, but the Chargers are so hard to get. So living in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, sports radio is Dallas Cowboys centric. You can't, the Rangers could be in a playoff run, and they have fall camp for football, and fall football camp is the lead story. It is on another level of insanity here. And so I slowly over 2 or 3 years became a Cowboys fan because it's all how could I not? I love football, and that's all the information I got. So all of a sudden I knew the guys who might make the team for the Cowboys more than I knew the Chargers actually starting roster. So it just kind of developed. And I do like Jerry Jones. People love to hate him. I do like him. I think it's a beautiful stadium. Everybody here's football nuts. So I would have, when I moved here, I would have laughed if you told me I was going to become a Cowboys fan, but it happened.
You need to pick better places to live.
If my Chargers and my Cowboys played in the Super Bowl, I would root for my Chargers. But they moved to LA, and half of my Chargers fan friends aren't even Chargers fans anymore because they're mad because they're all San Diegan. I don't care. It doesn't bug me at all. But I don't think that's going to happen. But we did draft some offense today. We drafted a quarterback for LA, and we drafted a wide receiver for the Cowboys. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, Tin Cup is a great one, Jonathan. Legend of Bagger Vance is good, but Tin Cup is great. I love Tin Cup. Do you guys like Tin Cup? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that. What was the other golf movie about the kid in the early 1900s that won the U.S. Open?
The greatest game ever played.
That's good.
Yes, that was a good movie too.
Shia LaBeouf.
And who I like. Everybody hates that guy, but I think he's good. And then Secretariat. People love Secretariat, and I like it. I don't love it as much as the rest of the world, but I like it. Piglet says Corey's stream was awesome. Yeah, I talked to Corey. He came on my stream and talked about it the other day. I'm excited to see it. Today has been a busy day, but I'll probably watch it tomorrow. Well, there you go. We are not quite an hour, but that's fun. So my top 5 again: Field of Dreams, Sandlot, Bad News Bears, Bull Durham, Moneyball. For me, Field of Dreams. Again, top 3 I love, but number 1 it wasn't hard for me at all. Was it hard for you guys to pick number 1? I mean, for you, Field of Dreams, Bill, was it an easy choice between number 2 and number 1 for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was an easy choice, hands down. I over and over again, even if something else comes out, it's still just because of the memories I have with the movie and all the times I've watched it and the connection I have with it now. That's number 1 for me all the time.
Totally. I totally agree with that. And yours Pride of the Yankees, Bill. Was it close? Was it a hard one for you?
Yeah, it was. Field of Dreams probably would have been my number 1 movie if it wasn't for the 2 movies. Like I said, when I first started watching baseball around 68 or 69 is when I first really started getting into baseball. And I remember, like I said, on Saturday afternoons watching both of those other movies. So that's why I picked The Pride of the Yankees and Jackie Robinson.
It's hard for me not to it's weird. There's 2 Jackie Robinson movies. I'm a Jackie Robinson nut, and I haven't seen either one of them. I don't really know why that is. That's weird to me. But anyway, Mike, what's going on? Amy, what's going on? Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being here. I guess we're gonna probably close it up 5 more minutes early. What do you want to talk before we go away? What are we going to talk about next week so we can tell the peeps when wherever it ends up being? I haven't really thought about. Hey, Magical Express, what's going on? Do you guys have any topic ideas? I've got a bunch of stuff, but I'd rather hear from you guys if you've got any ideas.
Yeah, I haven't. Come on, I know that we want to do the record the one show, a short show that I got a story that I want to tell, but that's more for a thing by itself. It's still something that hangs over my head 27 years later or whatever it is, 30 years later. Drives me nuts to this day. So we're going to talk about that in a recorded show. I really haven't really thought about with so much other stuff going on. I haven't really thought about anything that we're going to do for live for next week. Hopefully we'll be talking about a season that's going to be starting in the distance.
There hasn't been a lot of news, right? Like
well, the last thing that I heard is now, I believe it was 3 places, Texas,
I saw that,
Florida, and Arizona. Now Texas is into the mix about maybe playing some games there, I guess because you got the new Dome Stadium in Arlington and also in Houston. So I'm sure that's a big reason why.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I really like that idea, but we'll see. I think there'll be more news coming out on that. And outside of that, there hasn't been a lot of news at all. I mean, you mentioned Joe Kelly breaking the thing. I think that happened right before our show last week. And we did see Alex Cora got suspended, I think. I didn't read the article too much.
Yeah, he got suspended through this year, I believe it was. So.
Yeah, I think so. And I haven't read that report, and I haven't really read too much about it. I've just been – it's funny. In this time of all this free time, I've gotten myself pretty dang busy, and I'm excited about it. It's YouTubey stuff. I'm doing all kinds of things that I love, but I think it's because there's no baseball. Like we were driving in the car and we were taking a work call, and my wife, we were talking about a date. It was for work, and it was about a future date, and she said, "Well, it's in May," and then it hit me. May is next week, and I don't understand. This is all of our first April in my whole life where baseball wasn't one of the most important things in my life. And I hate it. And I'm mad. And I'm not sure who, but I think it's some guy in a lab in China or some bat in China. I'm not sure what, but somebody's pissing me off. I'll tell you that right now, because I want my baseball.
Yeah, this time, what's going on and you're bored and you don't know what to do. I got this with me all the time, and I have the MLB, the app, and I watch all the games. I could be out somewhere having dinner, and
app is
got it
mint.
Got it propped up, and the best thing I ever did was switched over to T-Mobile because you get the MLB package for free every year.
Yeah, people, you have to
get like $130. It's great.
Yeah, I bought it. I didn't buy it last year. I think I had it the year before. I don't remember why I didn't buy it last year, but it was good stuff. Mick says, how about rules, especially with limitations to return to baseball? Be interesting. So Major League Baseball is talking about making some interesting rule changes, and then this happened. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
I think we've got enough.
I'm not a fan of the rule stuff. The rule stuff, the clock, and all that kind of stuff that they're talking about. It drives me nuts. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's been a great game, and they're just tweaking it too much. Football, I can understand because of the injuries. You got to make changes. But the things that they're doing in baseball, it drives me crazy.
Well, we won't get into it too deep tonight, but I think this might be a great topic. Bill Jr., do you have a different opinion?
Well, I agree with my dad, but one thing I really wouldn't mind talking about for a while is our favorite baseball moments throughout history. There's tons of them, and I know mine's going to be different from yours and my dad's, so that'd be a fun show to
I love that idea. I guarantee me and your dad have the same moment. It's 88. It's an Eckersley slider, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, not so much. That was a good moment, but it was no. That doesn't even crack my top 10.
I love it. So how about we decide right now our top 5 baseball moments of all time that we saw, whether it be on TV or live that we saw. So you can't say Ty Cobb getting his first hit, but is that cool? You guys like that one? Top 5 baseball moments that we got.
There you go.
TV or there. All right. So that's what we're doing next week, people. If we didn't bore you to death, please hit the like button. Please not only hit the like button and please subscribe here too, but please go subscribe to Bush League Baseball the Facebook page. Excuse me, guys. The Facebook page and the YouTube channel. I love having this over here.
And
I really want people to go over there so we can do, I just
and Instagram also. We're on Instagram also. And once things start getting rolling again, Bill's been keeping up on the Facebook channel, posting different stuff that he's finding, and he's been putting that over there. And like I said, we just hit our 500th follower over there, and hopefully that's going to keep growing, and we can bring those people over to here from when we talk about baseball.
I love it. And you know what? We need to play, whether it's here or on that show, play the live over on the channel, which I guess we talked about for a second, but it is what it is. Anyway, guys, thank you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got one question there. Mick just brought up a thing. What will baseball look like when it returns? This year here, and it's up in the air. Anything goes. Whatever it's going to take for them to be able to put a season on. And yeah, you might have to wind up putting an asterisk after this year. For the fields that if they wind up playing on spring training fields, and it's going to be a shorter season. Just all kinds of things.
Well, they're not going to play 162 games, so there won't be any records set along those lines. But whoever wins the World Series, is the World Series champ. I mean, the Dodgers won in '81. Nobody ever called it tainted. I mean, you still have to go through the playoffs. That might be a topic too. I mean, maybe it's premature, but if we get a date, maybe we get to. I've got a pretty, what I think is a solid way that we can make this happen almost assuredly. I thought about doing a video of it and just having us put it on the channel, which I may do this week, but we'll see. Everything just changed today with work, but Mick, I will answer your question from my perspective, and maybe we'll close out after this. Beautiful. It'll be beautiful. I don't care. I just want to see games that count. There you go. Stacy, thank you. Hitchhiking Bones, thank you. Mick, thank you. Movie Mania Nick, go check out what he's got going on over there. Thank you. I'm going to be doing that for sure. Jonathan, thank you. Everybody, Bill, thank you. I'm going to say it again. I say this every week. I say this after the show, but I'm going to say it right now. I love this. I want this to work. I know it'll work. Thank you, Amy. The Pirates may be in it. Pirates of the Caribbean is way better than Pirates of the Pittsburgh this year. But hey, that's if you had a really bad team that you were rooting for, maybe you want this year to go away because then all your farm gets older. Did you see that they cut down Minor League Baseball? They're going to cut it like drastically.
What do you mean cut it?
Get rid of a bunch of teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't read the whole article. But,
no, because of what's happening now, or was that in the works anyway?
No, I think it's because of what's going on right now. I didn't read the whole article, so I'll check it out. I think that, we'll talk about this offline. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. Hope you smash the like button. Hope you subscribe here, but it's even more important that you go over to the Facebook, the Instagram, and the other YouTube. There you
go to Bush League Baseball and subscribe there because that's where we're going to be next week at 11 o'clock on Thursday night.
Love it, love it, love it. I'll talk about what I got going on, and then you guys can share whatever you got going on in your stuff. Tomorrow night, giving away Disney Pin. It's a Villains Pin on Disney Pins Live, Saturday morning, Beauty and the Beast. Sunday, Cinder Alley Loves Disney is my guest on DizTube and other stuff, too. What do you guys got that you want to promote? And then we will say good night.
We don't have anything really right now. We're going to hopefully in the next couple of days. Bill just started his new assignment with the Army there, so he's been kind of tied up. We haven't been able to do a podcast, so we're hoping to get one of those out maybe for next week, and hopefully we want to do a couple recorded shows and put them over on the YouTube channel and Bush League over on that channel.
Love it. Tazier says that the minor league team cuts were announced before the current situation. I didn't know that. Interesting. Good stuff. Bill, you want to tell them anything at all?
Talking to you, Bill.
Yeah, so I have a couple ideas rolling around in my head about individual shows just to get get content up on our new channel here. And the first idea that I'm going to talk about on my own, I just got to figure out how I want to do it, is the mental aspect of the game as like a coach and a player, and how to get along with that and how to deal with the season and everything, and just how you need to mentally prepare yourself, because not a lot of people talk about it. And I know when I was a kid, I didn't get really talked about it a lot, and I think that hurt me when I got into college. So I really want to get this thing rolling. So that's my first topic of discussion, is the mental aspect of the game of baseball.
I love that. Corey Meets World. We were just talking about.
What was always the one thing, Bill? Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. No, you go ahead, buddy.
And I was just going to say to Bill, what was always the one thing that I always told you that you needed to work on when you were a kid? as far as baseball.
Oh, my head.
The mental part of it.
My head, 100%.
So I would say that you had a huge advantage over me because I always had the headspace okay. It was the curveball that, kept pissing me off. That's a whole nother thing. Corey Meets World, we were just talking about, guys. If you don't know him, get over there. I highly recommend you check out his stream he had tonight. Get over there. Do that. Okay, so I want to share some ideas I have for this channel, but you're not going to hear it, people of internet land, because it's going to be for Bill and Bill. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please smash the like button and again, get over to their internets and give them some love over there. That's it. It's Friday tomorrow. Disney Pins Live tomorrow night. Be there. I think that's all. Go wash your hands, people. And guess what? We're all going to be open soon. So stay calm. It's all going to get better. All right. That's it for now. Have the best night ever. I'm ending everything now with you don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Bye for now, everybody.